welcome. We are going to get started here. So glad you're here, and I'll let folks in as they arrive. And let me just turn the videos off just for a second while I share my screen. I know I went from Zoom to Be Connected, back to Zoom to something else, but I like to keep you guys guessing. All right, so let me share my screen. Also, you can raise your hand or ask a question if you have any questions that come up. But let me just share my screen while I've got it open here. All right. How many tabs do I have open now? 196. That's a new record. All right. So welcome. Glad you're here. Thank you for being here. Today is what, day 9? It's May 9th, so it must be day 9 of the 31 Flavors of Video Challenge. And today's prompt was I have to look at my list. Create a video with captions. Easier said than done. Actually, it's pretty easy because if you upload a video to Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn, they will usually put the captions in automatically. But it's up to the viewer whether or not they want to see those captions. So there's a little CC here on the videos. I'm in the Facebook group right now. And you can see that Facebook automatically adds the caption. So whatever, like in this case, Georgette is saying is on the screen. But if I click on that CC button and click off, then those captions will go away. Or they won't. It's not going off. Yeah, then went off now. Takes a minute. And then if I click on for them to go on in this little CC button, then they will. So it's the same deal in LinkedIn. If you're watching a video on LinkedIn, you can turn the captions off. What I'm talking about are captions like what Denise did here. And again, it depends on what you're using, what software you're using to add the captions. So, oops, I got to let more people in. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, welcome. If you're just joining us, we're just talking about the challenge. Today's day 9. I think I'm on day 4, honestly, or day 5.
Yeah.
So no worries if you're a little behind. Everything's recorded. Everything's here. You can do this really anytime. I mean, you can do what I usually do, quite honestly, is I'll do 5 or 6 videos at a time and then post them when I get to them, because I'm definitely behind. But that's okay because I can catch up easy. So today's prompt, since we're on day 9, is adding captions. So I don't know. I don't think Denise
is to start.
Oops. I don't know if Denise is here, but I'm thinking that she used maybe descript.com to add these captions. So again, Facebook will add the captions, the little captions that you see here under the CC, but you can add your own captions depending on what software you're using. So everybody's posting to the group, which is great. You can comment on each other's videos and support each other. That's awesome. And I'm going to go back to my other screen here so I can show you a few ways to add captions. You can add captions using Pictory.ai, which I've been talking about a lot, which is an AI software. Let me go back there and find it. Here we go. You can add captions with Descript.com. So let me open up Pictory and show you, since we're just live, we'll just wing it here and go totally live. Let me stop sharing this one. And John had a question about some people are watching the videos that are emailed to you every morning. Other folks are watching them on YouTube, which is totally fine. And they are also in the membership area. And I just uploaded days 8 through 16, I think, in the member area. So everything's there now, John. Everything's up to date and actually a little bit ahead of time. So that's all set. I'm sorry, I'm just still letting people into the Zoom room here. Let me go to Pictory here. Come on, Pictory, where are you? Okay. Hopefully you guys can see my screen and see pictory.com. And this is one of the AI softwares that I use to create videos. And one of the things you can do that's fairly easy with pictory.ai is take a video. Let me find a video on YouTube. You can take an existing video. This one already has captions, so we won't use that one. Let me go back to my channel here. And again, if you have any questions, just chime in or put it in the chat if you prefer to do it that way. I'm going to go back here and find a video without captions.
On this channel, you'll find.
And when you have 196 tabs open, sometimes things run a little bit slower. So I'm going to take this video that I believe does not have captions.
Are you cringy on camera?
Ooh, good one. So I'm going to take this video, the link to this video on YouTube. I'm going to go back to pictory.ai and I'm going to paste that URL in here where it says article to video. I know it's not an article. We're going to see if it works anyways. So what it's doing is it is stop Pictory. It's pulling the information off the video and it's going to give me a transcript, but it's going to take a little while. So if you have questions, now's a good time to ask. Okay, so it took the video and basically it put the entire transcript over here. I'm going to click next on Pictory. And basically now it's creating a storyboard for this video. I don't want that. It does take a while, but it's really, again, you can start with almost nothing and have a video created with Pictory. Now, in this case, I started with a video because I just want to add captions to it. And what I can do is now I've got the video here, I've got the script, and you can see where it added these captions automatically. So, and I can move them around. I can change them if I go over here to styles. What it will do is show you a whole bunch of different caption styles. So if you want a more playful version or maybe something that pops like black on yellow, you could just click on that and it will change it automatically. Now that made it really way too big. So I can go up here and change the font size and then move it back down. So again, it's really easy to add captions because once your video or your script is here in Pictory, all you have to do is bring it into Pictory and then go to styles and then change the style to whatever you want. So I can, there's a whole bunch of styles here. So I can do a more playful font, or again, just something that pops. Now, every time you change the style, it's going to change the size. So I have to go back up here under the fonts and say, all right, this is way too big. Let's make it like 24 point. So that way, and again, you can move these around. Whenever you go back to the story back here, that brings you back to the original script. I don't know where we'll get these images, but see, it pulls in these images. So it automatically adds those images, but if you don't like them, you can go up here to visuals and change them. So here I'm talking about I rescue pugs. So I can just go into the search bar and put in pugs and pugs will magically show up. So I'm going to use this one and I just had to click on it or drag it over and there it replaced that image here. So this is a really cool way not just to add captions, but to create videos from a script, particularly if you don't want to be on camera And there are just certain days when maybe you're not feeling it and you don't want to be on camera. I'm going to look at the chat because I think there's a question. Hi, Ivana. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Pictory and Descript are the two apps that I use the most for video creation. So that's why I'm kind of focusing on those. They're not the same. I'll show you Descript next week, but you can add captions with either one of them. And I use Pictory mostly for videos where I don't want to be on camera because you can pull in, you can go to your script and Pictory will add the images for you. And if you don't like those images, you can just go up here and search. I'm going to search for Hollywood, my old stomping grounds. So I just put in that keyword here and then I clicked on it. Actually, I have to do that in visuals. Oops, sorry. So I'm going to go and change the search word to Hollywood. And I'm sure it will show me the Hollywood sign and stuff like that. Yeah, there it is. So I'm going to do this one. And there's a ton of these. I mean, you can just go and go and go, and you're going to get dozens and dozens of footage and images and things like that. So I'm going to take this one and drag it over or just double click on it. And it adds that to my script. And then I can see what it looks like. How do you cue Pictory to change the visual? So you do that like down here. These are my scenes. So you can, I'm trying to think of the best way to explain this. So these are the scenes that Pictory gives you. You can change those. It's going to go by script. So if you wanted to, if you felt like this was too long, all this text was too long, you could break it up and do split scene up here.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And that way it's like, oh, wait, all right, this is way too much for one thing that I want to split it up and add it, make it not quite as long. And again, like usually the images that Pictory gives you are not great. So I usually have to go back through every scene and change it, change the image. But that's not that difficult. So this one, it took right from the video. This was the thumbnail that I had on that particular video. And then the other really cool thing that I'll show you here is, so I've got my, my script that they took from the video and all the visuals are here. So again, if I don't like a certain image, what is this, cringy on camera? That's going to be a tough one, but I'm just going to put in cringe and see what it comes up with. That's not that cringy. But I'll use this one. Guys, afraid to be on camera. So all I'm doing is I'm going and putting in a keyword and choosing the photo I want and double clicking on it to replace that. So your scenes are down here, all the images, and your menu of everything that it does is over here. So you can always go back. The story is the script. You can actually change the order of these around too, which is kind of cool. And then the visuals are what go into each scene. Now, this is the really mind-blowing part. I'm going to go to audio. Right now, it's just, I got my captions. So I've got my captions here. But if I want if I want an AI voice to narrate this, I can go to voiceover here. And I think with the lower versions of Pictory, you don't have quite as many voices. But in this version, there's like 60 standard voices, and then I have 48 what they call premium voices. I'm not sure what the difference is because they all sound pretty good to me, but if I want this one, I can listen to it, and see how it sounds, see how it might sound.
Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere.
I can do deep news presenter voice.
The world is round, and the place, which may seem like the end, may also be the beginning.
Or,
a man sees in the world what he carries in it.
Glinda is a witch. That's going to be an interesting one.
In seed time, learn. In harvest, teach. In winter, enjoy.
So I can go through here until I find one that I want. They've got different accents.
Love is a serious mental disease.
Wow. And male,
The
female,
greatest way to live with honor in this world is to be what we pretend to be.
young, old.
One may say the eternal mystery of the world is its comprehensibility.
All right, I'm going to take this Helen Mirren kind of thing. And then just click apply when you find the voice that you want. And again, this will take some time. It's not instantaneous. But what's going to happen ultimately is I'm going to have this female British narration of my video. And again, I didn't have to be on camera for this. I didn't have to voice it. I didn't have to do anything except pull in the script. Go back to audio here. Why is it switching? And if I don't like that, I can change it. So let's see. I've added the captions. Now I'm going to add the voice over. It's at 93%. So we'll give it a minute and I'm going to go to chat and see if there's any questions. I don't see any other questions.
Can I ask a question if you don't mind?
Of course, that's what we're here for. Yeah.
Awesome. So you talked about Pictory that you use it for when you don't want to be, when it's content that you're actually adding images. Is Descript what you're using if you're actually recording yourself on video and then doing editing and captions?
Yes. Yep. So, and I'll show you the difference, but basically Descript I use, 10 times a day, and Pictory I use maybe twice a week or something. But again, it's very flexible in terms of you might have an article or a blog post that you want to turn into a video, and you can do that by bringing it into Pictory. And I'll show you from start to finish in a moment. But for the time being, I want to come back here and see if I can see how this voice thing came out. So I'm going to here's the scene preview here. Oh, it's preparing a preview. Hang on a sec. So like I say, it takes a little bit of time, but you got to realize that it's pulling in an AI voice and it's going to apply it to the script. So while it does that, I'm going to just do a couple
The
of...
speaker stresses that being cringy on camera can negatively impact one's professional image and the willingness of others to work with them.
So that's kind of cool. And then once I'm done, I can either preview it up here in the upper right, or I can download the whole thing when I'm happy with it. And again, if I don't like these captions, these are a little plain, I go over here to styles and I say that one's a little, I don't know, not that fancy. So I have dozens of styles here that I can use. And sometimes I don't even add the captions, but again, since today's prompt, it's timely because today was about adding captions. So I'm going to say, let's do this one. And all I have to do is click on it and it automatically changes on the screen. The only thing you have to keep in mind is that, it's going to okay, this one is huge and big. So I go up here to the top here and I can bring that type back down to something more reasonable size. And I can drag this wherever I want to drag it on screen. So I usually, in Pictory, I usually leave them on the bottom so it doesn't get in the way of the image too much. So you got a lot of flexibility here in terms of your text and what you can do and the styles and how it looks. And then if you really want to go crazy, you go down here to branding. And I don't know if I have any brands in here, but you can bring in your logo and your colors. I don't have my logo on here. But yeah, I was using this for some client stuff, so I brought in their logo and then I just added their logo to the lower right side, sort of as a watermark, just to brand it a little bit. Now it's thinking. Okay, so we're back to this is what happens when you first go into Pictory. You're going to see these different ways to bring in content. And oftentimes, I'm going to go to a Word doc here for a sec. Let me move this out of the way. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some text that I have created already. If I can find something. That's my bio again. I'm trying to find a good, usually I use an article or something like that, but I'm going to take my bio again. And I'm going to basically take the URL. You know what I'll do? I'm going to go to, this is the best way to show you how to do this. I'm going to go to medium.com where I have a couple of articles. And I'm going to take an existing article or blog post, I guess I should say. And again, feel free to chime in if you have any questions as we go along, because we're really informal here. I'm going to go to my account. And I'm going to, that's 6 years ago, holy crap. So I'm going to go, since we're talking about cringy on camera, I'm going to go to this article I wrote called Why You Look So Crappy on Camera. No offense. I'm going to take the URL to this article in Medium, and I'm going to go back to pictory.ai, and I'm going to click on start typing or copy paste your script. So actually, you know what? I screwed it up. I did the wrong one. This is an article, so I have to go to this second one here. Copy paste. So I'm pasting the Medium article here and clicking proceed. If you can do the same thing with a blog post or a LinkedIn article, and it's going to take that entire article and basically put it into Pictory, and it's going to assign images to it. Now it's going to take a while because it's a longer-ish article. Let me just go back here, see what's what here. So, wow, it even brought in the images. That's crazy. So here's the, it brought in the article, 6 on-camera sins and how to fix them. And then the summary is over here. So again, I can switch this around. I can expand on it. It pulled out it highlighted certain sentences here. I could change that if I want. But let's just say that I'm happy with the way the article is. Now I bring it in here and click next, and this is where it's finding the images to go with the text. So again, totally off camera. I'm putting in an article here and trying to turn it into a video. And Pictory is going to create the scenes for me, which are basically the images. And it's thinking. So here's the script. Time for some tough love, your on-camera appearance. I don't love the image. I don't even know what it is. So I'm going to go to the visuals and ask it to turn on. Let's see, tough love. I'll just put on camera and see what it comes up with. Here are the words that it took to find those images. So this person doesn't look crappy on camera. We're going to use this one anyways. So I double clicked it to change that. Again, same thing with the text here. I can go to styles and maybe I want to make it a little more fun and casual. So I do this one. I could move it around. So now I've got my scenes. And again, I can jump to any specific scene and change that visual if I want. And the best part, I think the best part is having the entire thing narrated. Now I can also put music behind it. Here's music tracks. The paid version has 15,000 music tracks, I think, which is crazy. The voiceovers, again, I can choose from a ton of premium voices. And let me do this mysterious one.
Love is a serious mental disease.
A single rose can be my garden.
Friends show their love in time.
A wise man will make more up.
If one is lucky, a solitary fantasy can
A man sees in the world.
So,
Yesterday's home runs don't win today's games.
ooh, that's very,
If you spend your whole life waiting for the
there's an
storm,
old guy.
you'll never enjoy the sunshine.
I'm gonna do Liam.
Life isn't about finding yourself.
So click
Life is about
apply,
creating yourself.
and once it processes, I'll have them reading the text that's in here from the article. So again, Pictory really best for off camera. And especially if you want to repurpose blog posts or articles into video, you can do that with this. And let's see if it did its thing here. We'll preview it. You click play and it generates a quick preview of that scene. If you want to preview the whole thing, you have to go up to the top and click preview. And it's doing its thing here. I'm going to open Descript while we're waiting because I don't really want to get too much into it, but I just want to show you the difference between Pictory and Descript. Because let's open some more tabs. Let's have even more tabs open. So this is going to do its thing. I'm going to go back to Zoom real quick and see if there are.
He was known as the video godfather and is consigliere to some of the brightest names in digital marketing.
Not bad. Consigliere, that's a tough one even for me, and I'm Italian. Consigliere. It's consigliere, but close enough, right? So I click play. You can see the image that way. I'm going to go to Pictory pricing for a second. Let me go back here and see what's what. Excuse me. So there are different ways you can do it. You can edit the video using text. You can do script to video. You can do article to video. And let me go back to, it's not taking me to Pictory pricing. So I'm going to go back here. Pictory pricing. So I did, the folks at Pictory asked me to do a course, and I'll share the link with you. It's on Kajabi. So I have a whole course on this. That's 4 modules. It's about an hour altogether. And I'll share that with you because that's obviously a kind of a deep dive on it. And I am using the professional version, but the starter version is $19 a month, and it gives you 30 videos a month. I can't even imagine, even if you're doing this challenge, you probably wouldn't use that many. So that gives you 30 videos a month, 600 transcription minutes, 2 million royalty-free premium videos, 34 text-to-speech AI voices, 5,000 music tracks, and 1 brand kit, which means you can add your logo and stuff like that. They do have a free trial. I do have a link, which I'll have to find, an affiliate link. But because I was doing the course and I was demoing, the only thing with this is you get 60 videos a month, which is a lot even for me. And you get more voices and more footage and things like that. But for most people, this is going to be more than enough firepower. The reason they bumped me up to this one, because I was doing the course, and I couldn't really demo the course unless I had access to all the voices and stuff like that. So that's what Pictory is. Again, that's yearly. If you do monthly, it's more expensive, but yearly is $19 a month. So I did this one, and then they bumped me up because I was doing the course for them. And I'll share that course with you guys. It's in Kajabi. So you can, the whole thing is there. I'll have to find the link for you and share that to you, which I'm happy to do. And then where was I here? Pictory. So any questions while we're in Pictory that I can show you? And then I see Ivana's question, and I'll answer that in a moment. So Ivana's asking, I hope I'm saying that right. Can you share your thoughts on which format between off-camera and live video is more effective? I think that you on camera, your face on camera, I say this a lot, is your most valuable marketing asset. There's no substitute for you being on screen because it builds know, like, and trust more quickly. Having said that, there's definitely uses and times when you might want to use something like Pictory because you have an article, and unless you want to deliver the article and read it on camera, this is a really legit way to find that video. And I'll show you, like I had a client who didn't want to be on camera, and I created these are just tons and tons of different versions. I created videos for those without them having to be on camera. One was for long-term care. So it's the same thing. I mean, I had the script. I put the script in here. Oh, there's Regina. And then I just went in and chose the images I wanted. I had the AI voice read it. And I created an entire, off-camera video for the client. So, there's some folks who maybe they don't want to be on camera, or they just want to, have sort of a more generic approach here. Now, again, even with this client, I'm doing on-camera videos with him as well. But in this case, again, I can go through scene by scene here. And in this case, because it was, for long-term care insurance, I could really go in and find the right images. And I think I had a voiceover here as well. So, and then I could, ask the client, do you want a male voice, a female voice, what kind of accent, stuff like that. So it definitely has its uses, and I use it for clients.
Plus, the level of attention you receive when you're paying a professional to care for you is considerably higher.
So that's the voice that I use for that. And again, you'll notice there's a watermark on here, but when you render or when you export the video, all those watermarks go away, so you don't have to worry about that stuff. So you can create entire videos with this, but to Ivana's question, I much prefer on camera. I mean, I don't love being on camera, but there's no substitute for your face on camera for building know, like, and trust and establishing a connection with your viewers. All right, let me go back to Zoom here for a moment and stop sharing and see if there are any other questions here. I think we covered Cheryl's question. And then, like I said, the demo that I'm showing here, I have the professional version because they bumped me up. But you start buying the software like $19 a month here and like $20 a month there, it really starts to add up. So I'm pretty selective about the software that I use. And 9 times out of 10, I'm using either Descript or Pictory. I'm going to show you Descript, and I'll get more into this next Thursday. But just for comparison purposes, I want to, show you how that works. And Descript.com, I want to say, is $144 a year, I think. I'll double check. So what I did on this one for an on-camera video was I can record right into Descript, but I think in this case I recorded a Zoom video. I just recorded an update. And I imported the video, and it brought in the entire transcript here. What's cool about Descript is I say and ah a lot. So I can go up to these actions here and say remove filler words, and it takes out all, there aren't any because I took them all out, but it takes out all your ums and ahs. If I paused in the video, like let's say one of the dogs started barking, which they usually do, I can go in here and stop for a second and then start again. And I can take out all the pauses, shorten word gaps. So if I go in here and I say anytime I paused for more than a second, take that down to half a second. And then the best part about this software, I think, is when I'm on camera and then, excuse me, hold on a second, it's not cooperating. Hang on a sec. I'm asking it to do too much at once. Okay. Now with the script, you're editing, in most cases, you're editing the transcript that it brings in here, which is awesome. Because if I take something out of here, it will take it out of the video. You do have a timeline down here, like traditional editing, but you don't usually have to use it a lot. But I can go in here and again, if I had background noise, I can do studio sound and make it sound really cool. Let me see if I can show you. I'll play it from here.
But do
Oops.
a video. Some folks are doing them every day. Some folks are doing them every week. But if you haven't started yet, it's not too late. Just
if I take off studio sound, you can tell that it's more tinny. I'll see if I can show you that.
just get into it and do it. What was today's? Today's make a vertical video for YouTube Shorts. Yesterday was make a mobile video, which would have been great because I had to go.
Can you tell the difference?
To Boston and do some client stuff. But what happened was by the time I got there, I thought my phone shut.
So I did this quick update for all the 31 flavors, folks. And I just brought it in. It gave me the whole transcript. I just cleaned it up a little bit. I added a little graphic here. And again, we'll get much more into this next week. But the idea is that I use Pictory mostly for off camera and Descript for on camera and everything else. So, and I use this for clients as well. So, and I've been using Descript for a couple of years, but they keep adding features, and that's why I have the separate Descript course and all that. So you can see that I've got a ton of stuff in here. I use this to turn audio podcasts into videos. So I have a client who has an audio podcast and I create the video version for her. And again, she's not on camera for this one, but I do have a thumbnail. So all I have to do is, excuse me. I'll play it for a second until I'm losing my voice. In this case, I just added the thumbnail and what they call a sound wave here, so it looks a little bit more interesting.
The landscape.
Come on. I think I have too many things open.
Leadership is being taught the same old way it's always been taught. When the world is changing, it's time to bring our leadership styles along for the ride.
So that's her audio podcast. I'm turning it into a video, and then I'm going one step more than that and turning it into a YouTube short. So I can easily change this to portrait size and add my captions. Let's see how that worked.
Oh. Ever feel like your day is just one decision after another? Then you are normal. In the high-stakes realm of professional leadership, the ability to make a swift, impactful decision is.
So now I've got a portrait version that I can use on YouTube Shorts. And I even create one other version for LinkedIn that's a square version with captions. And again, this is really quick and relatively easy in Descript because you can change the size of the video, the orientation, you can add captions. And again, whatever here, like I had, there was a mistake here where she said something and I just took it out. I can go through the whole script and remove words or remove pauses, fix any mistakes. So that's the cool thing about Descript. Now you can have AI voices do the voiceover, but I don't use it for that just because the AI voices in Pictory are much better. And I'm usually doing stuff that's the person's voice or the person's video. So Descript is really, there's a lot of use cases, and I find it to be the most useful just in terms of video editing and in terms of overall, just ease of use and different things that you can do with it. But we'll get a little bit more into that next week. I don't want to get too far into Descript here. Thanks, Dane. And I think that's it. So here's one. This is the one that we were just looking at. And again, if I wanted to have footage instead of me on camera the whole time, I can add footage, I can add graphics, I can add text, I can put music behind it. So it's just very, very easy to use once you get the hang of it. And it's really, really versatile. So any questions about either of those softwares or just in general in terms of making your videos? Like I said, I usually do a bunch at once and then bring them all into Descript and edit them. But if you want to kind of just follow along the daily prompts, that's fine as well. Some people are doing their own thing, which is totally fine.
Hey, Lou, I've got a question. Can you give me my video back?
I'm not sure.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. I don't, that's all right. When you were looking at my videos, I tried playing with the visual layer, the golf ball and all that. Did everything look okay on screen and like not too distracting, like you had been mentioning?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot in your background. There's a lot going on with the photos and stuff like that. But for the most part, it was fine. And like I said, Dr. Tricia works with animals. So if she has a cat walking in her background, it's totally on brand and appropriate. If I had a cat walking in the background, it would just be distracting. So, but yeah, I think it looked fine. And again, some people don't want to do the golf ball trick, which is basically how much headroom you should have to you in the top of the screen, because they want to show something in the background, like you had photos and paintings and things like that. So there's always exceptions, but if you're just doing a talking head video, then you want to kind of be here close to the top of the screen. Here's my ping pong ball. That's about right, rather than like down here. Especially when you're shooting vertically, like this is a vertical video. People tend to leave way too much room on top here. And I'm at a standing desk, so I'm kind of crouching. What's that, Tricia?
Oh yeah, I was saying I did try to do those in the landscape instead of the vertical like I usually do too. So I couldn't tell if you could tell that that's how they were made or not.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. And either way, these days, either way is fine. It just is personal preference. But for the most part, these portrait size videos are ideal for YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels or TikTok, because that's just a little bit of fun.
But for my YouTube longs, because, I am going to start putting everything on YouTube, and they're going to be like, especially when I start doing my podcasts and putting them on, they're going to be much longer. So did they need to be vertical or landscape?
If it's for YouTube, like generally YouTube should be landscape.
Period, no matter what. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yeah. Yep. Unless it's a YouTube short. Now this, this example here is what's called an audiogram. And it's kind of cool because Descript also has templates. And one of their templates is called audiograms. So what happened here was, I don't know why, but the video just didn't record, only the audio recorded. So rather than just throw the whole thing out, I said, well, I'll just do an audiogram. And an audiogram is sort of just like a fancy version of a voice only. And that looks like this.
Challenge with you and do videos along with you, even though I'm a day or two behind. No worries. Do the best you can. Post when you can. Today's prompt is, who is your ideal client? My best clients are...
So I did an audiogram because the video wasn't there. I didn't have a choice. But again, there are templates here, so you can create a really cool looking video with just the words. When you go into Descript and you look at their audiogram templates. So these are all different formats. You can do square or portrait, just different styles. So it's kind of a neat way, especially if you've got a podcast, to take your audio and give it a video element. And all I did here was I just put in a picture of me, and it automatically did the captions, and then I added some music in the background. And then if I decided that I wanted to make this square instead of portrait, I just go up to the aspect ratio and then click square. And so now I'm going to have to resize things and redo things a little bit because now it's kind of condensed, but that's pretty easy because I can just, oops, didn't want to do that. I can make the text smaller if I want. Come back text. Sometimes I have to show the timeline down here so I can see where all the layers are. So I've got my text, I've got my image, everything's a layer. You can see the layers when you open up the timeline here. And if I wanted to, I could, resize things and move things around so that it would fit the square format. But I'm going to undo that. Click undo, click undo, click undo. And that's it. Okay, it's almost 45 minutes in here. So let's see if there's any other questions in the chat or anything else that you guys might need.
I have one if you don't mind, Lou.
Yeah, please.
Don't want to take over the conversation, but
Oh,
this
go
is
ahead.
amazing. So thank you. I'm glad that I could jump in. So 9 days in.
Yeah.
With regard to the audio piece, because I'm also exploring a podcast with a colleague,
Yeah.
you had mentioned the fact that we can adjust the audio within Descript.
Yeah.
So does that mean for the time being, I can invest in Descript rather than go and buying like a Blue Yeti, and that way the audio can actually be adjusted through this? Or what do you suggest in terms of audio? Can Descript work, or should
Yeah.
I really be investing in equipment?
No, absolutely. I mean, I'm continually amazed by what Descript can do in terms of audio. And again, I just take once I bring the script in here, there's this element called Studio Sound. I've had, the other day I had, I live near an Air Force base, and the other day they had, apparently, I saw it on the news, the Italian Air Force was practicing takeoffs and landings, and it was unbelievably loud. And I just thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to keep doing it and see what happens. When I hit Studio Sound, you could not hear the jets, and the jets were so loud that they were like shaking the house. So if it can cover up those kinds of sins, then yeah, I mean, in terms of making your podcast sound crisper and more professional. So I use the Studio Sound for everything, but particularly on podcasting. If you sound a little tinny or if there's background noise, it will eliminate all that. However, if you have music in your podcast, you have to add that separately because it will also eliminate the music because it thinks it's background noise. So that's the only caveat.
Thank you.
Yep. So, I mean, yeah, it's good to have a nice mic if you're doing podcasting. I think the Blue Yetis are like $100, but in the meantime, the fact that you can do audio here and clean up the audio just with one click is pretty amazing. So hopefully that helps. And I use the Studio Sound on everything. The other thing is, again, I don't want to get too far into it, but you can record on Descript. And if you have two people recording, if you have Descript, you also have software that they have called Squadcast. And if you want to really get a clean recording where two of you are in a different place with different background noises, if you record it in Descript's Squadcast, it's going to be really even cleaner. But oftentimes I just record it on Zoom and then bring it in here. So that's pretty much it. And again, I have, when I'm producing a podcast for somebody, they send me the audio and then I clean up the audio because, again, they might say and a lot, or they might just not be in the best environment to record. So the audio, the studio sound here fixes all of that. And that's something that, like with traditional editing, it would have taken me hours. And here it's just very instantaneous. So again, there's two people talking in this one. So I did the studio sound and it leveled out the audio for both of them and just made everything sound a lot cleaner. Cool. Let me see if there are any other questions. I'm going to stop sharing. I don't know why I'm losing my voice. I haven't been talking that much. And see if there's anything else. Thank you. I do have a affiliate link for Descript. It's just loubortone.com/Descript because I use them and promote them all the time. Okay, we do this every Thursday during.
I'm here today
March.
with
Oh.
Jamie Conselman, and
Why did
Jamie
that
is
start?
VP GM of Americas Sales at Rackspace. You oversee
hang on a sec.
the Americas for sales as VP GM.
Sorry, the podcast started playing. And honestly, the audio in that podcast is usually a little tinny, so I just put it studio sound and it fixes it all up. Yeah, so we do this every Thursday in May. You'll get the daily prompts every day, and even if you're behind, that's okay. Everything's recorded. Everything is in also a membership area. When you signed up, you should have gotten access to that. So let me show you that real quick because that's what I'm doing right now before we wrap up. Excuse me. So there is a membership area within my software, Automation Works, and all of the prompts are there as well. So if you want to go back or look ahead, I don't know why it's not showing up here, but that's all in here under courses. I guess you'll just have to take my word for it because it's too slow. It's not coming up. Nope, this is the Descript course. Oh, no, there it is. So you can see day 2, day 3, day 4. Just click on it and it will open that video.
Welcome back. It's day.
So everything is here. I'm up to day 21. And that way, if you want to go back or go forward, you can do that. So we're on day 9, but all the prompts are in here. You can upload them to the private Facebook group. So if you haven't joined that yet, jump in there. Excuse me. And if you have any other questions along the way, please let me know, and I'm happy to help. You can ask questions in the Facebook group in between the live calls. And that should do it. I don't see anything else. So thank you. Don't hesitate to ask questions in the Facebook group or let me know if you need anything, and we'll make sure that we get all your challenges resolved. Thanks for being here. I'll put the recording into the members area as well, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, and bye for now.